Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Have You Eaten Yet? Today we're not going to stir fry anything, instead we will boil things. Yep, we're making congee today. Congee is basically porridge, except the Chinese don't boil oatmeal with milk, but rice with water. Or, if you're feeling fancy, some kind of savory chicken stock could work even better. We are gonna make chicken and carrot congee. To make this dish, this is what you need. First, measure 220 grams of rice, put them in a bowl, pour water all over until it covers them. Then add 2 teaspoons of sesame oil or any kind of oil will do. Mix it well and leave for about an hour. Then put the contents in the food bag, including water. Seal the bag properly and put it in the freezer to leave overnight. The next day, we can prepare the chicken first before we cook the congee. I use chicken drumsticks because they're the cheapest. If you prefer chicken breast, it's also absolutely okay. Use a sharp pair of scissors and cut the meat off the bone, tear the skin off, and cut the meat into small pieces. Marinate the meat with cooking wine, white pepper, potato starch, and sesame oil in the end. If you don't know how to marinate the meat, check episode 2. Boil 1.5 liters of hot water and slice 3 to 4 pieces of ginger. Put the frozen rice into a big stock pot, add the boiled water and ginger and leave it to boil full power for about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, grate a carrot. After 15 minutes, you can see the congee become very thick. Add the marinated chicken, give it a stir and cook for 90 seconds. Add the grated carrot and cook for another minute. Turn the heat off, season it with 2.5 teaspoons of salt, some ground white pepper and sesame oil. So how did the Chinese come up with the idea of congee? The reason behind is actually not a fairy tale story. The word congee in Chinese is zhou, which is written like this. Ancient Chinese characters are a system of pictorial writing. The middle part of zhou is rice. On the sides of the rice is the steam, which is kind of cute. The first record of congee dated over 4,000 years ago when human civilization had just begun. During this time, any type of food meant basic survival, and the Chinese soon discovered if rice was cooked with lots of water, it expanded so much that it could feed a lot more people. Since congee was invented due to food shortage, throughout Chinese history, it has always been associated with hunger and poverty. For example, it was always what the central government provided during floods and famines. The first congee recipe book in China had an interesting introduction. The author said, "I understand people refuse to admit they enjoy congee because they don't want to be regarded poor." Over the years, Chinese experimented adding all sorts of ingredients in the congee to improve the taste. One of the classic flavors is pork and preserved egg congee, which even made it to the breakfast menu in KFC in China. But other than the flavor and size, congee obviously has its own merits. In ancient times, people didn't have excellent dental care, so by the age of 40-50, they found liquid food a lot more comforting than chunky meat and vegetables. So for a long time, congee is considered to be very healthy and guts-friendly. However, the myth of congee was finally busted during COVID. One very popular doctor said in an interview that Chinese kids should have eggs, milk, and sandwiches for breakfast instead of congee, which sparked a national debate. In the end, people understood that congee is an extremely hydrolyzed polysaccharide, which will cause insulin resistance. In simple words, having congee every day equals drinking some sugary soft drink every day, which is obviously not recommended. In my house, I probably make congee once a month. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.